You've probably heard the shocking claim that we're ingesting a credit card's worth of plastic every week. While that initial 2019 estimate is now debated and the real amount might be lower, the core truth is undeniable. Plastic is getting inside us. For years, we worried about these particles in oceans and wildlife, but now, the front line of this contamination isn't some distant shore. It's our own bodies. In a landmark discovery, scientists have found tiny plastic particles deep inside human testes. The evidence is building, and it's pointing to a potential crisis for male fertility that we can no longer afford to ignore. We are just starting to pull back the curtain on one of the most widespread environmental threats of our time. What we're finding is a serious cause for concern, especially for male reproductive health. Part 1. The invisible invasion. So what exactly are we talking about? Microplastics are tiny plastic bits, smaller than 5 millimeters, about the size of a pencil eraser. But many are so small they're measured in nanometers, completely invisible to the naked eye. These particles come from two places. Some are made small on purpose, like old-school microbeads in face washes. But most are secondary microplastics, created as larger plastic items break down. Think of a plastic bottle getting brittle in the sun, a fleece jacket shedding fibers in the wash, or a car tire wearing down on the road. All of this releases a constant stream of tiny plastic fragments. From there, they get everywhere. They're in soil, oceans, and our water sources, both bottled and tap. Ultimately, they end up on our plates and in our cups. We eat them, and we drink them. But it's not just that. These particles are also light enough to float in the air, mixing with household dust. We're breathing them in. For a long time, the hope was they'd just pass through our bodies. But that's not what's happening. They're tiny enough to cross from our gut and lungs into our bloodstream. From there, they can travel all over the body. They've been detected in human blood, lungs, placentas, and even have been found to lodge in heart and brain tissue. And now, they've been confirmed in a place fundamental to our future, the male testes. Part 2. The troubling evidence. So what does this actually mean for health? A groundbreaking 2024 study in the journal Toxicological Sciences made a startling discovery. Microplastics were found in every single one of the 23 human and 47 canine testes they analyzed. Researchers identified 12 different types of plastic. The concentration in human tissue was alarmingly high, averaging nearly 330 micrograms per gram, almost 3 times the level found in dogs. This isn't a one-off finding. Other research has also detected microplastics in human testicular tissue, and separate studies in China have found them in semen samples. The discovery that these foreign particles are present in the very place where sperm is made is the first piece of a deeply troubling puzzle. To understand what this might mean for fertility, we have to look at animal studies, where researchers can directly link exposure to outcomes. The results are consistent and clear. In mice, rats, and fish, exposure to microplastics has been shown to cause a cascade of reproductive problems. These studies report lower sperm counts, reduced sperm viability and motility, that's their ability to swim properly, and more abnormally shaped sperm. Some studies even noted testicular inflammation and lower testosterone levels. The question is, how are these tiny plastic bits doing so much damage? Scientists have zeroed in on 3 main ways they attack. First, there's direct physical damage. Think of these particles as microscopic intruders. When they lodge in the delicate tissues of the testes, they can cause physical stress and inflammation, disrupting the complex process of sperm production. Second, and maybe more devious, is their role as chemical Trojan horses. Plastics aren't just plastic. To make them durable and flexible, a wide array of chemicals are used. Globally, the list of chemicals associated with plastic production is over 16,000. Many of these, like bisphenol A, BPA, and phthalates, are known endocrine-disrupting chemicals, EDCs. These chemicals can leach out of the plastic after it's inside our bodies. Endocrine disruptors do exactly what the name implies. They mess with our hormones, like testosterone, which is absolutely critical for making sperm. Third, microplastics can trigger oxidative stress. This is when there's an imbalance between damaging free radicals and the antioxidants that fight them. The presence of these foreign particles puts our cells under duress, causing an overproduction of free radicals that can damage sperm DNA, impair their function, and even cause them to die. So we have strong animal evidence and clear biological pathways. The final piece is connecting this to what's happening in humans. The same study that found plastic in every testis sample also analyzed sperm counts in the dogs. They found a significant correlation. The higher the concentration of certain plastics, like PVC, the lower the sperm count. While the preserved human samples couldn't be tested for sperm count. This finding in a mammal that shares our environment is a major red flag. On top of that, a multi-site study in China found an association between exposure to a greater variety of microplastic types and poorer semen quality, including lower sperm counts and reduced motility. It's important to be clear, these human studies are still in their early stages and show a correlation, not yet a proven cause and effect. But when you combine these initial human findings with the consistent evidence from animal studies and the clear biological mechanisms, it paints a very concerning picture. The invisible threat is coming into focus, and it appears to be a plausible new risk factor for male fertility. Part 3. How to take back control. Hearing all this can feel overwhelming. Plastic is everywhere, and the problem seems too big. But that's not the whole story. While scientists and policymakers tackle the big picture issues, there are practical steps you can take right now to lower your exposure and protect your health. Awareness is the first step. First, rethink your food and drinks. Bottled water is a major and easily avoidable source of ingested microplastics. The simplest switch is a reusable glass or stainless steel water bottle. The same logic applies to food. Avoid storing or especially heating food in plastic containers. Heat dramatically increases how many particles and chemicals leach into your food. Lab studies on certain baby food containers have shown that microwaving can release millions of microplastics and billions of even smaller nanoplastics. Your best bet is to use glass, ceramic, or stainless steel for leftovers and meal prep. Second, filter your water and air. Since both tap and bottled water can be contaminated, a good water filter is a smart move. Look for systems like reverse osmosis, which are highly effective at removing microplastics. And don't forget the air. Synthetic materials in carpets, furniture, and clothing shed plastic fibers into household dust. An air purifier with a HEPA filter can capture many of these airborne particles. Regularly vacuuming with a HEPA filter vacuum makes a big difference too. Third, be mindful of what you eat. Highly processed and packaged foods tend to have more contact with plastic. Whenever you can, choose fresh, whole foods. This not only cuts down on plastic, but is just better for your health. Also, be aware that many food cans are lined with plastic coatings that may contain BPA or similar chemicals. Look for products sold in glass jars or cartons instead. Fourth, choose what's in your kitchen and closet wisely. A surprising amount of microplastic pollution comes from synthetic fabrics like polyester and fleece, which shed thousands of fibers with every wash. Try to opt for natural fibers like cotton, linen, and wool when possible. In the kitchen, plastic cutting boards get scratched up, releasing particles directly into your food. Switching to a wood or bamboo board is a safer choice. And be careful with non-stick cookware. If the coating gets scratched, it can release plastic particles. Cast iron or stainless steel pans are excellent, long-lasting alternatives. Conclusion. We now know for a fact that microplastics aren't just out there in the environment, they are inside our bodies and have been detected in our most sensitive tissues, including the male reproductive system. A recent study found plastic particles in every single human testicle they examined. While a direct causal link to the ongoing decline in male fertility is still being investigated in humans, the animal studies and clear biological pathways of harm are an urgent warning sign. The challenge is enormous, but our power begins with the choices we make every day. By taking steps to reduce your personal plastic exposure, you're not just being proactive about your own health. You're sending a message to industry that we demand safer products and a healthier planet. If you found this information valuable, please share this video. Spreading awareness is how we drive change. For more on the science that affects your health, make sure to subscribe. What's one change you plan to make after watching this? Let us know in the comments below.